I said, hey, I'm Timothy at Grant-Herald. I've done this, and I really see your Milson and Airsoft is a great way for me to get an exit for PTSD, blah, blah, blah. And I get an email back saying, please don't. After everything you just said, you seem unhinged.
Welcome, brother.
Welcome to you. And
Sergeant Major.
Are we?
Yeah, we're recording, man. We're good to go, bro.
and first, I'd like to say what a great honor and opportunity it is for someone like you to. This is the first interview I've done since the apocalypse. After the apocalypse, and I'm happy that you're the one that got to do it. Very good for
man.
you.
I'm excited to be here with you, and we got a lot of stuff to go over since the apocalypse, and I know you got your shit together, so that's why I wanted to talk to you.
You sound like you know your shit by saying what you said about me having my shit together, so I ain't even shitting you about that. So what you sorry, my papers are I've been using for I don't even know how long in the apocalypse it is, so I've been using those all-weather writing pads used to get in the military, but they still work. Go ahead with your question and taste. If that's what you want to ask me.
Now, how did you get to be where you're at now?
Oh, you mean where I'm at? Because I'm not. Again, you don't have a collection.
How did you get to be a sergeant major over here?
Oh, okay, yeah, and that's a great question where I should start. And thank you for asking me that question, by the way. And it was very simple. I was in the Army, kept my nose clean. My nose clean, did my thing. I was 11 Bravo in the Army. And there's a guy out in the Army, and I said, hey, I'm not a wacky conspiracy theorist, at all. Are you? I'm not. You know what I mean? I got out, and I started realizing that, hey, things aren't the way they should be. And next thing you know, do you even know what an EMP is? An EMP is what they want you to think. It's where, the shit hits the fan, the apocalypse. We don't know. We just wake up and, everything's cut off. Your energy's cut off. Your lights are cut off. Your water's cut off. Your Pornhub's cut off. All that grind, all that stuff doesn't work. Yeah, you're getting scared over that one. All that stuff doesn't work anymore. And, it was chaotic. It was chaos. And people were running around, tribes were growing. I mean, you remember the Jehovah's Witnesses that used to knock on your door and stuff?
Oh, yeah.
They had a guy named Negan. He said he was the same. It was crazy. And I just, I said, if crazy warlords and veterans are going to take over, why not me? And that's what I did. I don't second to see about the time. Not finished, son. I'm almost not finished yet. So I just, I took over. I found a field. It was like a wildlife reservation for endangered snapping turtles. After Sergeant Major Green moved there, they weren't endangered anymore. They were extinct. So that's what so I moved to the fucking to the snapping turtle. Hold on a second. No. Brazil does not speak Spanish. It's the only country in South America that doesn't speak Spanish. I'm on. All right, sorry about that. Back off, one of my calls and stuff. But so I moved into the snapping turtle field, and I live off the land, just as God wanted me to. If I got hungry, I found another camper, I raided them. I took the food. If I got thirsty, maybe I want to raid them, maybe I'm going to raid their neighbor. I got a little something to drink. But I became the warlord. And it was hard. It was hard at first. I walked around with this jacket that I'm wearing. This is not Army issue. This was a whole nother demonic team. They were wearing like camo like this and orange hats. I don't know what fucking cult where they were from. And they were killing deer. And then I'm watching them. They're hanging deer upside down, chopping them. I'm not, we don't need people like that running through the woods. So, I took over. And I've been, lickety split running it ever since.
So what kind of gear you got right here? You got weapons over here. Looks like a
Um,
sniper.
I shouldn't even tell you this. I don't know what they call it after the apocalypse, but during the before the apocalypse, we called it obsequio. That's OPSEC. You know, we don't want to tell what we're working with. But this, son, is this is not even an airsoft gun. This is a 22 pellets long rifle. And I like to, I sneak into these little Airsoft Rangers, Rafeford Rangers, and I just know bada bing, bada boom. If I'm working as a sniper, they shouldn't see what I'm shooting with, where I'm shooting at anyway. And I'm a sergeant major now. You know, my days of being a rifleman are kind of over. You know, I call a shot from the back, and that's kind of where I'm glad that you reported me today, and then you're going to report on me or interview me or not, because, you know, when I was in the military, I was 11 Bravo, reconnaissance, 11 Bang Bang, and a lot of people in the airsoft community, they like to be 11 Bang Bangs. You watch the airsoft videos, and, I watch the enemies on these YouTube. A lot of people have YouTube after the apocalypse, but, But yeah, when I see these, and I'm like, oh, this is military simulation. It's a lot of fun, but the tactics aren't as realistic. And it's not because, this guy hasn't been there. It's because of the limitations or illimitations, or let's just leave it at limitations. You pick the word. I got a lot of them. But in real combat, there's air support. There's indirect fire. There's 11 Charlies, which are light infantry mortarmen. They run up and shoot, and then they can drop, pull the mortar out, do it. But you don't even have real frags for frag grenades in the new how we're fighting. We're fighting. I don't know why we're fighting with airsoft weapons after the apocalyptic. But we are, and I'm learning that. But we don't even have frag weapons. You throw a little smoke, you're like frag. But when you think as a military man that I am, and I don't know if you're on my level, you're about to learn something now if you haven't. But when you throw a frag grenade, the explosion is a minute percentage of the destruction and the injury. It's the shrapnel that spins out. It's that one little tiny piece of metal that cut freaking Joe on his neck, and now he has an infection a couple of days later. You don't have that. You don't have any indirect fire in airsoft yet. Hold on. Hold on. Hello. Joe, when you gave me this job at Secret Service, I wasn't your room service. I'm not going to bring, no, I am not going to bring. If you're hungry, call, I got to go. I'm sorry, I got a side job. I'm kind of like a caretaker for a delusional old man. Everyone's got a side job. But yeah, so
That sounds interesting.
In the combat nowadays, there's nothing wrong with it. But everyone, even the best airsoft team that has the best, most elite fighters, and they can only do so much because they don't have helicopters that can drop bombs and Apaches and mortarmen. They don't have any of that indirect. So the fight is actually different. It's actually, it would be unwise to ever think that you should be really, really, really good at close quarter combat in airsoft. Really good, because you have to be, what's the max effective range of M4? 300 meters maybe? I don't know. But, it shoots out, and then you have, and I'm just going to use this as an example. You shoot the M4 out, the round goes out, you have that round trajectory. It goes above the round for, 150 meters, and then it goes below the round for 150 meters, and you know that, you study that, and I know when I'm breaking contact, I need to break contact. I start figuring out if I'm breaking contact, hey, if I'm past 300 meters, there's no point to fucking shoot anymore. If I got fucking injured, I have just as many mortarman capabilities, especially being long range reconnaissance, hope I don't get compromised. But if I did, my backup are freaking 2 Apaches coming as fast as they can to light it up. But we don't have that yet in the, airsoft. And I can sit here, and I play with these LARPers, and, we can think outside the box, and boom, there's something, but it's not as fun. So I've almost, decided, or should I say that the airsoft community has decided for me. They gave me an award. They called me, how did they phrase it? I am the self-proclaimed commander of the green side. So you're welcome for talking.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Everyone here, thanks
like
you.
Look back to this. So I have decided that I'm going to bring the Mortarmen, the 11 Charlies, realistically to the airsoft community. I'm not going to be crazy and take a potato gun and dump a bunch of airsoft BBs in it and shoot it up. Or am I? I don't know. Maybe testing. But I have goals. Some of my goals, one of my goals, as you know, was to take out one of the worst terrorist networks in the Milson community. I'm playing with these airsofters, and we're actually doing tactics now. I am, by the way, where's my cue cards? I got events I'm going to talk to you about, some operations I'm going to talk to you about, where I'm going to try these tactics and stuff. I can't even find my correct cue card. Yeah. And I got so many more events and stuff. But I'm training with local teams. I'm training with Ghost Raiders, Airsoft LLC. I'm training with the Rafeford Rangers. I've been talking. I haven't trained with them yet. Talking to Sergeant Airsoft, who is on. He's on YouTube as Sergeant Airsoft. He's on everything else. Discord and Facebook as Rooster. And I mean, he's just legit. We know each other. He's not as legit as me, but he's pretty legit. He's old. He comes from the real life Ranger Recon Detachment. We traded names. We know some of the same people. He's good. Sergeant, but he's okay. And he plays down there at the Third Coast Airsoft. Those guys are all real life special forces, but they're not the same as other people have complained that there's other areas. We're not going to say where that doesn't exist anymore, but I've heard in the airsoft place, in the airsoft community, that there was maybe some people on the other coast, not on the East Coast, that were hiding behind their maybe tabs and regs and that, but they're not trying to, one, improve the community. They're not trying to do positive train like you fight. In the military, it's very competitive. In the Army, we're doing boxing once a week or combatants or, we're playing, it's competitive, but it's friendly competitive. I can choke you out as hard as I want jiu-jitsu, but once you tap out, I'm like, man, that was a good roll, I'm not scared to go to a paintball or airsoft event because I'm around my friends. They might be like, hey, we're going to bust you up, but they're going to bust me up with airsoft bullets, And if they're trying to get some of the heaviest airsoft bullets plug, they need to hit Pink Unicorn up. He's got some of the heaviest 6 millimeter BBs on the market. But I'm working with my local teams to, one, build cohesion together, but two, we're thinking like that. We're like, hey, why are we all going to run down this hill? There's 20 other guys that we've never trained with, and they're all green teams or brown teams, and we're all just running down the hill to just shoot each other. And, where is the bounce? Where is the cover me while I move? I'm a flank. Where are these routines and stuff? Because these routines are actually military simulation. And if I was behind enemy lines, on the front line, whatever, and I didn't have helicopters, like I said, or mortar or whatever, all I have to stay in that game are my movements and communication and stuff. I don't want to play Milson West where you can shoot me or I shoot you and you lay down and say, all right, put a tourniquet on me, I'm getting back up. That's not, what did I learn from that? I
Not to get shot.
Like, what?
Not to get shot.
I guess. But really just to go to bring a tourniquet in a minute. I'm like DK, which is going to be at Fort 13, and, on March or something. DK is a 3 day. I'm going to be there, by the way. The Heretics, they need me. I'm Command Sergeant Major Green. I'm going to be Command Sergeant Major Green commanding the Heretics. So, you better not be on the other side. But in DK, for example, and that's not an event I'm putting on, but that's the event I'm very happy to go to because it's going to be, the Heretics are the green team, the Saviors are the brown team, and they're in a field that has fungus causing people to be zombies. So they have to move through villages. The Heretics, we're trying to keep it going after apocalyptic. The brown team's trying to move through this zombie-infested civilians on the battlefield, villagers to find out where I am. We're going to fight. But while all that's going on, if you die, you may not get rescued in time and turn into a zombie. You may come day one and say, hey, I'm the best blue team, green team commander, super sniper, and I got an AK, and I love this. And then you get shot, and you just sit there for 15 minutes, and they're like, oh, now you're going to be a zombie for the next 3 days. It's something, I mean, I'm not out, I don't have to go home, but now, like the whole world has changed on me, And I like games like that. Like, I like games that have stuff to do like that. I've been to some LARPing airsoft games in Florida. They were more on the LARPing, post-apocalyptic side. But it was like if you died, someone from your team would have to run all the way over, pick you up, run you all the way back to one of the checkpoints or bases and dump you. And after a while, people aren't going to want to save you anymore. You know what I'm saying? You're not necessarily feeling the burden of getting shot. But now your team's like, man, fuck Joe. He keeps dying. I got, and now it's taking two guys out of the line or off the front end because, they're doing this. The most high-speed guy that's running around saving someone. You always see that young guy. The police people call him the whacker or whatever. He goes, I'm going to save this guy. And after 3 guys, now he's tired. He's like, so I like games that have a more prison role. You know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, that's how Sergeant Major Green rolls. And, great questions, if I do say so. Go ahead with your next question.
Now, when did you say this event was?
Oh, man, let me get a couple of my operators out. What did you say your security clearance was before I went? That doesn't matter. These are airsoft games. And you know what? To be quite frank with you, that's one thing that kind of scares people about airsoft is because they find out that, like, maybe in California, guys that own airsoft used to be Rangers, and they're like intimidated now. Like, oh shit, I don't want to go in. It's all way too serious. It's not that serious. It's still airsoft. So, but yeah, I got some. So, let me run you through a couple of events that I'm happy to go to. I'm happy to, talk about. I'll probably get to that one. We're looking at Operation Decay. That's gonna be that's coming up. Should have had that one in there. You're fired for putting that one in there. But no, the Decay is going to come up. It looks like it's coming up in March. 3-day event. 16, 17, 18, I think. I don't know. I don't even go by dates anymore. But check it out. So Pinky Unicorn. And she's having it. Pinky Unicorn Airsoft. They're having it at Fort 13. And the owner of Fort 13, a lot of people may or may not know. I mean, he looks like an old guy. And he is an old guy. But he's an old, dirty, salty guy from Israel. And you know how them guys in Israel get down. Bang, bang, shoot them up. So, I'm happy to go play with him. And I'm probably going to kick his ass. But, it might be pretty close. We got Operation Jungle Boot. That's going to be a long event. That's going to be July 5th all the way to July 9th in Black Ops. Right here in Fayetteville. That's going to be put on by the Ghost Raiders Airsoft. And it's going to be kind of like a Vietnam era. You know what I'm saying? Charlie on one side, America, behind enemy lines and stuff. Hope you got your peanut butter. That's what the Viet Cong ate out in the woods, right? Did you know that? I'm surprised you didn't know that. Yeah, they couldn't, the Viet Cong, just so you know, they couldn't cook fires during the daytime, and they couldn't actually cook fires during the night either because they were so close to the American enemy lines and stuff. So they actually would take peanuts and crush them up and make peanut butter and then keep those on bags in their pockets because they would just eat peanut butter all the time while they're out on patrols and stuff. And one time I read about that, and I was like, that's freaking delicious. So I wanted to go on it. I wanted to test it. I didn't want to go crazy. So I called it a peanut butter fast at first. And during the waking hours from the time I woke up and until the time I went to sleep, I was going to eat peanut butter. I don't know what I was going to eat when I went to sleep, but I wanted to do that. I wanted to see it. And I actually was able to do it for about 3 or 4 days before I really started to notice maybe peanut butter and water isn't sustainable for a long time. But if I'm doing like a 3-day field problem like this one right here, I might want to try something like that. Or not.
So peanut butter every day for how many days? So how long did it take you to go to the bathroom after that? You were probably backed up for a week.
That's a post-apocalyptic technique. They don't call me Sergeant Green for nothing. But yeah, The next event, though, the closest event before March is actually in February, and the one I was talking about. It's going to be called Operation Bone Crusher, and it's going to be at the Third Coast Airsoft. It's going to be from February 16th to 18th. And Rooster, my man Rooster, Airsoft Sergeant. He's freaking Real Ranger Reconnaissance, so he's going to be my Green Man contact. So whenever I tell people, hey, these events, I may or may not myself be there, ask me, say, hey, Sergeant Green, who's your green contact? Who can I check in with? Who thinks like you? That we just want to go out, we want to have fun, we're going to play by the rules, yeah. I'm not going to pull out, I need to pull out the,
yeah, you don't want to have to pull that out.
I don't need to pull that out. I'm going to walk around. I'm walking around with a 1911. I'm calling the shots. I'm actually, and we're going to let the cat out of the bag. You know what I mean? In July, I'm going to have a 3-day event. 2 nights, 3 days, right here in July. I train in an airfield. Giant airfield, drone planes, remote control planes. I got a man-made pond all the way around it from remote controlled boats. There's no like actual farms, like they keep up with some places have plants and fit, but it's all remote control stuff. And it just so happens they love me. I mean, who doesn't? They love me, and that's where I train. I know a lot of veterans, a lot of just busy people. Period. We work. I'm 41. I have a wife, 2 beautiful young daughters. 19-year-old son has I got a big family. I got a lot of stuff I have to do. And, I might not be off every weekend for these awesome LARPing and airsoft events, but I do like to get out into some areas and shoot some airsoft guns, and test out my camo. I like to dye different camo and see if it blends in. So these guys have let me do this weird stuff on their field for a very long time now. And I just said finally, I was like, you know what? I connected with a lot of good people in the airsoft community. I've connected with a lot of shitty people, but I bling bling popped them in the earlobe. That's my signature move. You didn't know, so lucky you.
Did not know that. You don't want to tell too much of your secret moves out there, though.
Well, they don't call me Sergeant Major Grant for nothing. I got years and years and years of secret moves, and years of secret moves, and years. You know how what's his name, Mark Wahlberg was played in that one movie?
Oh, the sniper?
No, Boogie Nights.
Oh yeah, Boogie Nights.
Woo, good movie. Or something a little bit. I don't know if it's been different or not, but I'm gonna have a lot of post-apocalyptic LARPers there. I'm actually gonna have 2 different sides rivaling each other of post-apocalyptic LARPers, villagers, stuff like that. I'm also going to have a green side Milson and a brown side Milson. And it's going to go a little something like this. Me, Sergeant Major Green, I'm going to be right in the very middle. Nucleus. You know what a nucleus is?
I do.
I'm going to be the nucleus of this event. I'm going to be right in the very middle of the airsoft place. And around me, entrenched, are going to be the green guys that I've been working with. I'm saying my Rafeford Rangers. They're going to be my protection. my Ghost Raiders. They're going to be my protection. And then outside of that are going to be the LARPers in their villages and stuff. And then on Friday night, the brown side has to insert into the airfield. By Saturday morning, they need to pick up and move into the LARPing villages and interact with the LARPers. They might need to buy some supplies. They ran out of water. Guess what? They can buy the water right there in the village. And cha-ching is really going to cost money. They need ammo, whatever, maps. But they're also going to have to gain access to the other side of the airfield. They're going to have to go through these villagers. They're not going to know which villagers like them, which villagers like the green side. Just like in Afghanistan. You walk through a village and you see some little boys. They might like you, but they call the dad, hey, the Americans are walking through the village. The dad hates Americans. He calls freaking the Taliban. It's going to be the same thing. Hopefully, they gain access to the other side of the airfield by Saturday night, set up camp, do their reconnaissance, because by Sunday morning, they're going to have to do a raid and see if they can remove me, And after they remove me, like I said, there's no overhead, there's no airplanes after the apocalypse. they're going to have to either kill me or remove me and transport me all the way back through all the larpers and out of the airfield. You think that's going to happen? I don't know. And that's a 3-day event. And then once that event is over, we're gonna have an index around noon, and then we're all gonna meet back up at a local buffet at 2:00 that same day. We're gonna be in the banquet room of that buffet. That'll give you 2 hours after the index to get dressed. We're gonna have all you can eat buffet. So who doesn't want to eat a great buffet after a 3-day field problem? And then we're gonna have an AAR after action review, like you do in the real military. And a couple win-wins. If we did an after action review right after the field problem out in the field, it's not going to be worthy. The sun's going to be in people's eyes. People just got shot. They're hungry. They're ready to go home. It's not going to be good. If we say 12:00, all right, index, meet at this location in 2 hours. Now they can get cleaned up, changing stuff. And then we're going to have it in the banquet room. So again, if we just had after action review in a regular Golden Corral, couple of tables put together, people are going to be like, hey, these guys are great. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to do it in a little private area where everyone's going to get to talk. They did something right. They did something wrong. We're going to go around. They're going to explain what they did and why. Even the lowest ranking guy, why did you run up this hill and get shot? Because the sergeant behind me told me to. Okay. What happened? Everything. Everybody is going to leave with 2 things 100% guaranteed. The bellies are going to get full. That's not my fault. That's Golden Corral's fault. And then the other thing, they're going to feel better. They're going to, you know what I'm saying? They're not just going to go out there. They're guaranteed they're going to have trigger time. I've heard people talk about they paid a lot of money, did a lot of traveling, and didn't necessarily get as much trigger time as they thought. They pulled guard and just gave water to the injured people and the vets or seniors. It ain't gonna be that. It ain't gonna be. This is gonna be all or nothing. Sergeant Major Green. If somebody's coming on my airfield, you getting trigger time, one way or another. Ching ching. And that's how we're gonna do it. But I really like the you got post-apocalyptic larpers, like the guys that like to shoot and use the axes, but you also have the women who just want to cook and be a larper on the battlefield, and the people who want to make necklaces and earrings and really sell them to other larpers on it, and that's a great environment as well. So why not combine the both? I used to love. I don't know if you ever said, were you in the Marines?
Oh yeah.
Just kidding. Field place.
You better watch it now.
And JRTC, after the war of terrorism, you didn't just fight the Op 4, the Geronimos, who were the infantrymen there, but they had civilians on the battlefield that cooked and just did stuff you couldn't. Old ladies, there was no worse feeling for me. I was in a reconnaissance scout team when we went to JRTC. I was so freaking hungry. And when we finally got into a village to occupy it, they started cooking freaking hamburgers and hot dogs and playing music, and they were having a great time. And I was just like so bitter and worn out, and just like I was like, oh, this sucks. I can run around and chase them up and Geronimo shoot at me, but I'm just sitting in a village watching these freaking civilians on the battlefield cook hamburgers and hot dogs and eat half a hot dog and throw the rest in the woods. And come up. Give me a little hungry right now just thinking about that. I know what you're thinking. You're like, man, you were eating really good for after the apocalypse. Yeah, I'm Sergeant Major. Some Sergeant Majors take care of their soldiers and let them get all the good food. Some Sergeant Majors don't. They go first. Winners go first, and they take all the good food. Which one do you think I am by what you just saw me eating?
Well, if you ain't first, you're last.
If I ain't first, I'm last. Is that what you just said?
If you ain't first, you're last. So I'm guessing you're first.
You get them right on first. Okay? You get them right first. All right, so let's keep going. This is a fun interview. I feel like you're learning. Are you learning a lot?
I mean,
you don't have to be modest. You're learning a lot. I mean, what a great, don't be modest. You're going to brag about this.
Well, what I'm hoping is our viewers.
If you drove your Uber car and picked me up and we did a live interview, you would probably sky's the limit.
I mean, I'm taking notes already.
All right.
I'm already taking notes. Now, how did you get your team together?
Well, I'm glad you asked me that. So, I had a good cotton mouth from this, but I'm just doing it. So, I mean, you got people now called preppers. Preppers. You know, and they prep. And they're living in fear, and they're buying stuff, and they're stockpiling that stuff, and they're everything's a prep because it's, you know, the ball's going to drop eventually. You know what I did? I narrated those people. So, like, why did I have to prep? Why did I have to waste my money? I just got those. That's how I did it. And when people saw that I was the man in charge, and everywhere I go, I'm the man in charge. You know the guy. You know all those Chuck Norris jokes. You know that one guy has to be the strongest guy in the room and has to allow his thumping chest and everything. He's my bitch in prison. So yeah, when I was when I was narrating all these people and just taking their stuff and making it my stuff, people, they flocked to me. And then, if I saw someone that looked like he had cauliflower ear, I might do some jiu-jitsu, and if he was good, I'll let him be on my team. If I saw someone that had, some good trigger time and some good guns and stuff, I might let him be on my team. And just before you knew it, I built a good team.
In what way were you able to train your team?
So,
and how did you get them to listen to you?
It all really goes with this. And I can kind of tell that you have a low self-esteem for yourself, and you'll get there one day. But I can tell, like many men, they have low self-esteem. And they see someone like me, and they're like, this man's got his life put together. He's wearing a goofy mustache. He's having the time of his. I'm
kind of intimidated. I'm kind of intimidated already.
But someone hit. I started. I was in the military. You were in the military. A lot of people. We're all in the military. We've been yelled at. We've been in real life situations where it's like if I didn't do a PMCS or pre-maintenance checks of a vehicle before I left the wire, there's a big chance that the acorn, which scrambles the freaking bombs, wouldn't work and somebody would die. It was that serious. It was. And when I got out of the military, my first job out of take care of my family, I still taught jiu-jitsu and did military stuff, but my first real non-military job was a Reach Dollar General store man. And it was like, I couldn't understand that I don't need to mean mug every shady person. I don't need to chase every guy that stole a candy bar out the store. I don't need to, it wasn't that damn serious. Nobody appreciated that. Not even my district managers, not even the police. I got him. He stole some Skittles. License plate 55667, and I want you to call me when you catch him. I'll go to, it's not that serious. And I had a lot of, just like everyone, I had a lot of seriousness. It's still in me. And when I first got out, I was teaching. I've always done Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Taekwondo. I did it my whole life. I did Jiu-Jitsu before Jiu-Jitsu was MACP and stuff, before it was in the Army. So I won the 2003 Taekwondo All-Army Championship, 2003 All-Army Forces. I love martial arts. So when I first got out of the military, Jiu-Jitsu was awesome for me because I'm 5'6". I could make fun of. I made fun of Army James from New York Inc. or Miami Inc. And he fought. He took the challenge and we fought and we both raised thousands of dollars to donate for PTSD. So then I started realizing that my younger life, hey, that's a great martial arts is a great freaking Jiu-Jitsu is a great exit for soldiers. I could be serious. Like I have to be serious when I'm grappling someone because they're trying to choke me. They're trying to bend my arm. They're going to stop when I tap out. But it was a great way for me to release that controlled chaos of the military. And I did that for a very long time. I taught at the biggest martial arts school in the world, Fight Tiger. I opened up what is now the largest. I sold out of it when I moved up here, but I opened up Core Martial Arts. And now Core 2.0, or it's Core when I moved there, and I helped them open up Core 2.0, which is now the largest martial arts school in Tampa. I worked my ass off. I trained combatives at fucking McGill, at Fort Bragg. I did a lot of jiu-jitsu and gave back to them veterans, and I loved it. But then now I'm 41, and I'm still pretty good, and I can win. But now, it's taking me 15, 20 minutes to beat someone because they're 20 years old and all they do is train and stuff, and then I go home sore, and I don't want it. So I needed another place I could be crazy. Like there's not like tennis wouldn't give that to me. Unless I'm hitting little kids in the face with. I needed something that I could be violent. I needed something that I could almost exaggerate my crazy veteran and not be considered a crazy veteran. And that's where I saw Airsoft. I first, I saw from Vice News, I saw a video of Milson West. And I was like, man, they were like, this is a 3-day event. These guys are doing war. And I was like, that's freaking me. I was like, I'm this guy, I'm sorry, Major Green, like if I could go be crazy like that for 3 days, that might be a good enough fix for a whole month or whatever. And that's how I approached it. Just like that, just like I'm talking to you now, And I emailed Milson West. And I said, hey, I'm Timothy at Grant-Herald, I've done this, and, I really see your Milson and Airsoft is a great way for me to get an exit for PTSD, blah, blah, blah. And I get an email back saying, please don't. After everything you just said, you seem unhinged. And I was like, I don't care if someone sees my videos. It's like, oh, he seems unhinged, because I do make unhinged videos. But I was like, I read that email a couple of times, and I was like, that was before Sergeant Major Green. Sergeant Major Green's from this, I'm getting to that. But I read that email a couple times. I was like, there's nothing unhinged about that email. It just says, I'm a veteran. I have 2 daughters. I just want to get an exit. Milson West seems like a great exit. The hell was unhinged about that? This guy preaches that this guy was preaching that on the video I saw. This little short guy named Joseph Warren or something, he said he was, I'm supposed to be there. So I didn't understand. And I started like going around to other, joining other Airsoft communities and stuff. And I hadn't gone to an event yet. I'm gearing up, I had like my Airsoft on, gearing up, I already had my, I'm a soldier. It's not gonna be, you ain't got to. As soon as I learned how hopper works, I'm good to go. I don't need, you let me work the hopper and my bullet shoots straight, I'm gonna have fun. If I get shot the first minute, I don't get, who cares? But I start looking at all these other events because I'm like, all right, well, let me just find somewhere on the East Coast where I live, and there's a guy in Raleigh. And, and I'm like, wow, this is going to be great, this guy in Raleigh. Well, guess what? The guy in Raleigh is part of the cadre of Milson West. And then this other group's part of the cadre. And everyone, I'm like, this dude, Milson West, owns Airsoft, and he told me I'm crazy and I can't be an Airsoft. So at first, I was like, fine. And I started LARPing. I started doing post-apocalyptic LARPing, which kind of built my character, Sergeant Major Green. He's a veteran who, after the apocalypse, took back over. I love that. It built me made me who I am today. But
so they said you were unhinged based on your YouTube videos?
No, this is before YouTube. He's because based on an email that I said that said, hey, I'm 41. I'm a combat veteran. I like to do things that are exciting for my PTSD. I would love to come, do some Milson West event. That. I didn't say, hey, I'm fucking crazy. I want to wear a bow mustache and spike. He didn't know that yet. I didn't know that yet. I just said, hey, I'm a veteran. I want to do exciting stuff to help me with PTSD. And he said, don't, please don't. So I push away from that for a while. And then I get back on to a community page and I see Eric, Pink Unicorn. And he likes one of my posts. I like a couple of his posts. We go back and forth and privately start talking. And he's like, hey, I'm a veteran. I do Airsoft stuff. And the first thing I'm thinking, I'm like, I know every veteran does Airsoft. You guys are all Milson West fucking, monopolizing terrorists, fuck you. And so I come back as soon as he says, hey, I'm a veteran. I do Airsoft. I say, hey, look, I am not allowed to play Milson West. They think I'm unhinged. And I think it's going to be like, okay, it's over. And he says, I cannot stand Milson West for several reasons. And this was 6 months ago. And after that, he put me back, he put me back on the horse. I was like, you know what? LARPing is fun. I love LARPing. But I love the aspect, you ain't going to tell no post-apocalyptic LARPer, hey, tonight let's lay in the bushes all night. It might rain, but tomorrow will be close as fuck to the bad guys. As soon as they wake up, we can shoot them in here. No one's going to do that. It's going to be a crazy Army guy or a Milson, like that. So I wanted to bring them both together. So that's why I said at Airsoft East, first was an inside joke between me and Eric. We Airsoft East, Milson West, Airsoft East. And this was a joke. And then I just
Right.
started making videos because I take off work on Thursdays and Fridays. Fridays is like mine and my wife's date day. We go out, we spend all day together and everything. So Thursdays, I go out and do my funny little Airsoft videos where I played both guys and everything. And I was like, let me see if I can do something with this. I only told one gentleman. His name is Grandmaster Phil Poplinski. He's like a veteran himself, big brother of mine. He teaches Hepketo in Florida. And I told him months ago, I said, hey, look, I'm going to target this Milson West guy, but I'm going to target him through satire. I'm not going to, Milson West, a bunch of bitches, boycott them, What's that going to do to me? Because they own everything anyway, supposedly. I was like, I'm going to start saying Milsim terrorists, play on words, Milsim terrorists, Like, I have plenty of Muslim friends, It's just these Milsim radicals, they play Nazis and communists. So, so
Right.
I just, months ago, I started playing like, I'm going to take you down, you Milsim terrorists. And next thing you know, I start getting screenshots and private messages from everybody showing me where there's private group pages. Milson plays this, join our team, you're with your friends, everyone loves everyone, we like everyone. But then the same guy who's saying that in the public has private Facebook pages just for him and his cult-like followers to make fun of those people who just spent all that money to come play with him. So it just...
Whoa.
So I was like, if he has that, people were sending me screenshots of that, of him taking my videos where I made fun of Milsim terrorists and saying, this guy's deranged. I don't take him serious and you should either. I was like, you're taking me a little bit serious now. So
Right.
I messaged Eric back and I said, hey, this is getting kind of, it's getting a little interesting. It's not like I'm going to go, it's not like me or Eric or anyone from our side or their side is going to like come to fist fights. But I was like, there's a lot of people, both veterans and just civilians, Rafeford Rangers are mostly civilians. Ghost Raiders are, a couple of them are in the Deers, the late entry program now, but they're civilians. And both of them, Rafeford Rangers said they went to an event in Asheville, North Carolina or Tennessee or somewhere. Milson West event, same thing, because they weren't in the military period. They got made fun of, and they didn't even get into one firefight. They got set in a spot and just handed water out to guys that were injured. And so I was like, you know what? It's not about, I don't like this guy, I want to do better. This ain't Pepsi and Coke. He's going to do awesome the rest of his life probably, but I want to play Airsoft. I want people to have fun playing Airsoft. I want to have alter ego characters, so it's just, we're going to roll with this Airsoft East and we're going to have fun with it. And I have as much fun as the next guy. I'm not, going to shoot someone without a mask. I'm not going to strike a match and light a fire. I'm not going to do crazy, unsafe stuff. But at the same time, I'm not going to be so, hey, get down. I'm going to have fun doing it and stuff. And, so that's going to be.
Well, I'm looking at your YouTube channel right now, and it looks like you got a video you released 4 days ago called Airsoft East.
Yes.
And I'm going to bring that up on the screen real quick.
Do it. I'm being serious now.
We're going to see how unhinged this is.
Yeah, that's normal me. And I actually I made that video because I read, everyone sent me a screenshot of Josh Warren, the owner of Milson West, where he said I was unhinged, mentally deranged, and stolen valor. And I was like, dude, I will brag all day that I'm unhinged and mentally deranged, but if you really think I'm a sergeant major, then maybe you're the one that's unhinged. But check it out. Are you put on the video, or are you just watching it?
Yeah, I got the video on right now.
Yeah, I'm named up. I was born right here at Fort Bragg. My father's older brother was already in the Green Berets, already did a tour in Vietnam. My dad dropped out of high school during the Vietnam War to go to fucking Vietnam. He stayed in Vietnam 3 years before they sent him home. He stayed in Special Forces for 21 years, minus the 5 years sometime in that career when he was a Golden Knight when I was a little, like I've been around Hua elites my whole life, including people I served with, people that raised me, and people I hang out with now, and none of them ever belittled someone that served. It doesn't matter what MO, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter what MOS you are. They didn't belittle people, and I knew for a fact they were Huas and stuff. So for me, I'm not going to belittle, especially something like Milsim. Everybody wants to learn how to shoot, move, and communicate in Milsim. So why not have fun and teach people?
Exactly. Yeah, I'm looking at your channel right now, and I'm seeing. Yeah, I could see why they said unhinged.
No. That channel was not around. That's what I'm saying. That channel was not even around when I contacted him. I kind of made that channel to make the unhinged satire, just because of Milson West. And I call it After Apocalypse 22 for a few reasons. Number one, I like to play like it's after apocalypse, but we think about Mission 22. Mission 22, veterans, we lose 22 veterans a day, But strangely, a lot of and I'm not putting nothing down on Mission 22. We need more programs like that. But it hurts because when Mission 22 says, hey, we have a skiing trip that's free for veterans. Well, most of these veterans can't afford to go all the way out there. They got to pay their way to get out, all that stuff. So I started thinking, hey, what's a fun thing you can do right where you live? Run around the woods and have fun with your airsoft gun. Take your old digital uniforms and tie-dye them a different color, do some, So I started thinking of activities that you could do to help you not be a Mission 22. And everyone who's been deployed knows what an after-apocalyptic world looks like. Sadly enough, when we watch these after-apocalyptic TV shows and movies, we portray exactly what Afghanistan looks like, or what parts of Iraq. We've been to after-apocalypse and stuff. So I love the idea of people saying, hey, you know what? Let's have fun. Let's go. That's why me and Pete Unicorn get along so well. Let's have fun. I got some cool gear. You got some cool gear. I have a cool gun. You have a cool gun. I tell people a lot when they're like, hey, what kind of gun should I get? I don't have a lot of money. I'm like, the less money you spend on your gun, the more fun you may have. If you go out there with a, it might be, it could be fun. But if you go out there with a boom, boom, you're definitely going to have to run more and hide more and think a little bit more outside the box. It's going to look a little bit more like post-apocalyptic. So when I host events, I want to take a really strong Milsim guy, and he's always going to be the leader of the brown side. And the brown side's always going to be tough Milsim, governmental, we got all the expensive stuff. And the green side is always going to be led by me, and it's going to be more post-apocalyptic, LARPing, guerrillas, kind of stuff.
I'm watching your video you put out. It's After Apocalypse Epic 4 Military Aged. I see you out here teaching tactics and like stealth.
Like that. Like I am like a little kid running through the woods having fun. But every one of my videos in a funny way, I teach something. I might do a packing list. The last video I did a packing list. And yeah, I brought a lot of crazy stuff and I forgot water and stuff. But the whole point of that was I was showing that, hey, sometimes when I slept at nighttime in Afghanistan with my team, we didn't whip out our sleeping bags and stuff because we're 4 men behind enemy lines. We might have to get up and run. So we put on our Gore-Tex or our mop gear and then our whoopee, and that was cool. So I dropped little, fun things that you can learn because it's not that serious. I did the same thing. I have a whole Facebook page called Tony Horton Gracie. And I did the same thing because I was a combatives instructor for the Army. And when soldiers were deployed to Afghanistan and Iraq, you don't just sit around in your barracks, and you're bored and you walk, So I would make a 45-minute video every single day for like 2 years where I taught a real jiu-jitsu move, but I taught it as a silly character, and I played current music so they could kind of hear a couple of the current songs from back in America. And I tried my best, just like Pete Unicorn. I mean, he nailed it. I try my best every day to show people that, hey, it feels way better to laugh and know that no matter what you're going through, no matter what you're in, it's not that serious. We're live. I never appreciated. I used to hate when I talked to people as a little kid, and I'd be like, "How you doing today?" And they'd be like, "Oh, I woke up. Good Lord woke me up today." And they say something like that, and I just like, weird to say, and it'd always be like older people that would say it. I'm just like, that's a weird thing to say. But then it's like after going to like God bless. After going to like Afghanistan and seeing how many of my buddies didn't come back, I'm that guy now. People, hey, I'm glad to be alive. I'm glad to have a beautiful wife. I'm glad that I live in a house. I'm glad that I have children. Like it takes a lot to really piss me off. And I also take PTSD medicine, but it takes a lot to piss me off. And if I have to wear a funny mustache and make videos that maybe one or two guys make fun and call me unhinged, but everyone else says, "Hey, your videos are so funny. Thank you." That's good for me. I'm not trying to be Adam Sandler. I'm not trying to I make a lot of money on my OnlyFans page. So if I was trying to make money online, that's not my other job. Okay, this is for fun. If you know what I mean. But I wear a mustache in those videos too. I'll send you a link later.
Yeah, I definitely want that link. I love the Sergeant Major character. I think it's awesome.
And it's only gonna get better. And I mean, like when we were playing around, like after Apocalypse and stuff, like I have a training Discord group page. I have a training page where we talk. We don't just say, "Hey, those guys suck. Hey, what's the coolest new sling?" Like today, we started the morning by me saying, "Hey guys, I want everyone in your own words to tell me what's the difference in an ambush and a raid." And everyone, and there's no wrong. I mean, if you're saying an ambush is a freaking stoplight and the raid's a zoo or something, but I mean, like everyone pretty much knows that. One gentleman said, "Hey, I see ambushes as you hit them on the slot on the cup. Someone's walking up, boom, where raid I plan more." Someone else said, "Hey, I see ambushes as, someone walks into it, raid says we're walking into it." Someone else was like, "Hey, I see ambushes as we can see everything because we're shooting outside. Raids, we can't see that much because we're, and it's helping each other build up, because there's no wrong answer. And then by the end of the day, we're like, all right, think of some scenarios where maybe you did a mission where you were like, hey, we're going to go raid this house. And really, you should have just went up as close as you could to that house, sat down and waited like 5 minutes for the guys to come out and could have ambushed them there instead of going in and figure out which rooms are closed." And like we get into talks and stuff. Like there's a lot more to Sergeant Major Green than the funny videos and stuff. But I'm not going to go to air. I've risked my life, and you have, and a lot of other veterans have. I'm not going to go to an airsoft. I'm not scared of getting shot with BB guns, but I want to feel comfortable everywhere I go. I don't want to feel like I'm going to an event where people are like, "Oh, I want to go." I don't have to be the leader of the event.
Right.
I want all the great guys' events, but I want to make sure that if I'm going to take the time out of my life, if I'm going to leave my wife and kids for a couple of days, if I'm going to travel and everything, it's going to be around people who I enjoy being around. It's going to be, and if it's going to be someone serving on my team or under my detail, it ain't just going to be a, "Hey, good to have you." It's going to be someone that we've actually drilled, If I can't, we got people in other states on my Discord that we start these thoughts and talks. We bring out chalkboards and, we keep it going and stuff because and it's the little things like that. I'm bringing it back to the crazy Sergeant Major Green, but we literally are taking, in my study groups, my airsoft study groups, we're taking the major battle drills, and then we're saying, how could these work better or different? How do they work different in airsoft? You can't enter and clear a trench, frag out. That may not work again. Throwing a smoke bomb and saying frag may not have the same effect as some, how can we do this? I saw, and I don't know, I'm a newbie. I'm a newbie with airsoft, but I'm not a newbie with Miles gear, which is airsoft with lasers in the arm. I'm not a newbie at camping. I'm new to this community, and that's awesome because I'm excited to meet everyone and everything. But it's like I saw a video. And again, I'm sorry I keep talking shit about one organization, but it's like everything negative that I've seen is one organization. But I watched another Milson West cadre guy who's like Fox Desert is the name of his page, and his page is like his GoPros, and every video is about how he belittles the guys he's playing with, and that's we ain't talking about that. But in one of the videos, it was a dude, it was a black guy, and he was blind shooting. He was laying down and he was shooting over, and this guy was far away. I mean, this dude, Cadre Jet or whatever, was far away. So I mean, if he got shot, it would have been a legit shot. It wouldn't have been like, oh, and he was like, stop, stop, and he ran up, and it was against the rules. Okay, it's against the rules. Leave it alone. It's against the rules. But he stopped. He fussed everyone else in that trench out that wasn't even on this guy's team. He went and got freaking Josh Warren. This all video. Josh came all the way back up. Josh and him found that guy. They belittled this guy. It was like, damn, bro, just tell the guy I can't blind shoot. It's like, I didn't even see anything wrong with that because you were far away. This dude, it's like, that's the kind of guy. Hey, and the only reason I'm bringing that up, my man, if you watch this video, I want you on my team. I'll make you a first sergeant. But, I want people who are passionate. We're all big kids, and we should have fun doing this, and it shouldn't be the suck in the military was cool, and it's cool to say I went through certain schools that were very sucky and I earned these patches, but that ain't me no more. I don't want to be that no more. And I know that when hobbyists, whether they're civilians or veterans, especially veterans, they got beat up knees and stuff. The suck ain't there for me. I don't want to go to places where it's like, all right, we're going to yell at you. And this is basic. I don't want that. I want the suck to be, I got hit 5 times with a foam baseball bat and then shot and had to sit there, like I want to be in the game, engaged in the game, playing with other people who are engaged in the game, and if people spend more time, stop the game, read text off, Article 17-11, did you not go to text off Bible study? Like, damn, dude. If he's wearing brown, he's wearing green, shooting each other. If he's wearing light, bro, like I don't need it to be that serious, and I hope other people don't. And it's like these people that I'm talking to, like, I'm talking to Rooster. Rooster the same age as me. He was in Ranger Recon Detachment. You know what I'm saying? He feels the same way I do, and he only plays at places, like he said out of his own mouth, verbatim, if I get it right, he's like, you need to start coming to Third Coast Airsoft. He's like, the guys there are special forces, but they won't make you kiss their ass. I'm like, okay, hold it, where they let me wear the mustache, kind of thing. So,
hey, I mean, you got to be Sergeant Major when you go. That's most of our experiences are with Third Coast. The 2 big events, the 2 big events I went to, Third Coast. All my boys, that's where they started. They've gone to Theta events. I think Theta events, a couple of those, and something else local that was kind of smaller scale, but all the other milsims was Third Coast, and they love it. Yeah, they got the helicopter, flies around, but they make it fun. They make it fun.
I saw that. I saw the helicopter. I looked at their page when he said that. I looked at the link and the gallery, and I was like, oh my, So it's like, if you're going somewhere and people have put their life and dedication into making the experience fun for you, why would like? I don't walk around with my wife and kids at Walmart acting like Sergeant Major. You know what I'm saying? But like, why not go out and have as much fun as you can and get as much worth as you can? You know what I'm saying? If I went to a 3-day event and didn't get any trigger time, something's wrong.
Oh, for sure.
Both times, So,
now let's see, October was just a few months ago. Do you go as Sergeant Major Green on Halloween?
No.
You should. You should.
Not yet. The mustache is it's kind of weird because my father had a big mustache like that when he was. I mean, it was way low. I mean, I was a little kid, but he used to always lie or be like, "Hey, I don't have a mustache," and put it in like here. And so the big baggy mustache kind of thing. Well, it kind of takes me because he passed away, so it's kind of like that's always a funny thing. Was I always remember, my dad was a cool guy with a big mustache. So I like to do that, and it always like brings me back. When I look at pictures and stuff, and I do that, so it's kind of funny for me.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I love it.
That's maybe the only thing that me and Pink Unicorn probably don't see eye to eye on. I don't play non-scary on Halloween. I don't care, okay? And you should be ashamed if you're watching this, Eric, Pink Unicorn, you should be ashamed of yourself. I do not, I'm playing blood, vampires, and my kids are too. It's Halloween.
Oh yeah, that was funny when he told me that story about. Oh yeah, that's good. Oh yeah, man. Well, what do you
But
got? So you got a bunch of stuff coming up. You're gonna go now when you host your events, like the ones that are coming up in March, July, or whatever. Some of the events you're going to. Do you go as Sergeant Major?
I don't break character. I was going to not break character. I was going to not break character tonight, but it came out. But I don't break character, and I do not break character. I go. The mustache might fall off eventually, but Sergeant Major will never break character.
I love
I
it.
would never. I would never break character, and I will be serious. And if I get shot, I would be the loudest screamer and the most in pain screamer. And like I'm gonna have the most fun that I can have, no matter what. I would grow a real Sergeant Major Green mustache, but my wife won't let me.
What kind of Sergeant Major are you?
Behind every great Sergeant Major is a greater woman.
I agree. Yes, sir. My wife and I have been married 31 years.
Congratulations.
Hell yeah, man. Now, as I'm going to tell you what we should do. The next time I have you on, I always have people on, more than once, usually, and we should have on a handful of your guys that from your team that know you as Sergeant Major, and we'll have a group session on here.
I'm down for that.
Yeah.
I'll bring both my those two local teams that I train with. One plays green, one plays brown. I'll bring them both on, and we'll love it. Maybe we'll record some of the training footage so you can see how actually Sergeant Major Green, starts training sessions funny. Halfway through, I love to train and get serious, and then when we finish, we always finish on funny notes. So
it's a pair of arms over here.
Yeah, so before the apocalypse, I had a wife and kids, and I loved them very much. And every Thursday I take it. I don't get out of character. When I get all dressed up in the morning time on Thursdays to get ready to go out and do my weird larking and stuff, I tell my kids and wife, I'm like, hey, I might not make it back today. It's gonna be kind of it's gonna be serious. So And
I
I'd
think
be
it's
lying
great,
if
man.
my wife likes this. My wife thinks I'm the biggest dork. I don't know how your wife and other airsoft. My wife thinks I'm the biggest dork in the world.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, that'd be fun. So, you guys, did you meet your wife before you were in the military or after you got out?
Nope. I actually met my wife after the military. Right after the military, which was I say this all the time, like she didn't even know what she was getting into. My wife wasn't from a military family. She'd never been around a military post, and we every and I was joking around a minute ago, but I'm gonna say this, and this sounds cliche for every crazy veteran out there that is married, and I hope every veteran out there finally finds someone that they love from special. But I give it to the spouses because they put up with our ups and downs, and sometimes we don't even know what makes us mad. It might be a song or a memory or just something weird, and your spouses put up with that. They didn't sign up for that. They didn't know what was going on. So it's just wow to that.
For real. Oh yeah. Yeah, I hear that, man. Yeah, my wife and I got married. I still had a couple years left in the Corps. So she knew all my buddies. She was around the base. She knew, like, we were the party group, we all partied together and stuff. So she was kind of used to that part. But, after you get out, it's way different because you don't have that camaraderie anymore. And it's a big thing, man. So, yeah, it was it's been a journey for sure. 31 years hasn't been all ups, It's been a lot of ups and downs for sure. Yep. Yeah, man. It's this has been cool, bro. It's good to talk to you and see where you're coming from. The stuff when I did the one with the pink unicorn, and we talked about that with Milson West. I had no clue. I've never really heard anything about them. Um, I haven't experienced anything like that because we didn't go to any of their events, and mostly third coast events over here, and they have some events over at GTI, which is in Barnwell, South Carolina. It's like 2 hours away from me. It'd probably be, however long. It's fairly close for you if you were up there in North Carolina, because I'm only an hour away from the North Carolina border. And
Oh wow.
yeah, so I'm right down 85, right off. I'm real close to 85. So the these events down here with Third Coast have been great. And I have heard of Milson West, heard of American Milsim, and a handful of others. But the I never talked with anyone that went to some of these that were had any issues or talked about it. So when Eric was talking about the some of that stuff with, I thought maybe, okay, he had a run in with somebody or one of his friends had a run in, it was just this little thing or whatever. And then I find out there's a whole bunch of shit going on. Like, this dude doesn't know how to shut up, apparently. I don't know.
I thought like maybe like when he came at me
What?
like that, I was like maybe he knows of me or because I am crazy. I was like maybe maybe I should back off. But then when I like started seeing and finding, I was like no, enough is enough. So if there's one more thing I wanted in the last video that I made, which I just published yesterday.
Yep.
I put his stuff so much on blast, and now I'm done. I'm done putting him on blast. I'm never gonna play with those guys. I'm happy the people at the beginning I was being a smart ass, but thank you so much for letting me be on the show because I want people to see that hey, I am Sergeant Major Green, I have fun and I play that, but I am a normal person and I love to train and I love to talk and I want to meet people here on the East Coast. It's not like West versus East. I'm Tupac. I live on the East Coast. I have a wife and kids. I can travel and play, but
Yeah.
it's going to be much more realistic if I stay on the East Coast because I can travel and play more often. So for me, in a realistic choice, not even a personal choice, I wouldn't play
Oh yeah.
like that Third Coast, Airsoft, and all these
Absolutely.
places. So why
I mean,
not get to know
travel's a
more
big deal,
people?
man. We're not going to drive, we're not going to drive all the way across the country or fly with our airsoft gear all the way across the country to go to a milsim when we have options here, and there's a bunch of options up and down the East Coast, so there's there's definitely we definitely understand that with me and my boys. The couple of milsims I've been to just as a photographer. I just went as the camera guy following these guys around, and my sons went and played. So they've been to, I don't know, 10 different milsims, and it's they've always had a great time. Everything's always been pretty cool. They had some pretty immersive kind of milsim experiences where, because of the weather, like they did a Vietnam event here in South Carolina, and they had to have all their proper gear from Vietnam era, right?
Yeah,
And
that's fun.
oh, dude, it's fun. It's so fun. I didn't go to that one, but I did
Learn
all
about
the
that.
yeah, I saw the videos. I edited all their videos with they were in GoPros and stuff, and it rained from the time they got there until they left nonstop. It was like monsoon rain. It was like it made it sucked. It sucked for them, but they loved it because it made it more immersive. Like, okay, we're really in Vietnam right now, because South Carolina, it's North Carolina too. We have a lot of our foliage in the summer, man, is thick. You know what I'm saying? And it's just pouring rain. They could not ever get dry, and they came home. And surprisingly enough, they're two. I think I've got this. They're M16A1s that they took. Okay, these things I can't remember what brands they are. I have them hanging on the water here, but those things had the battery, like no water got in them at all. And they're not even like an expensive brand, but these things were great the whole time. But there's a lot of options for Milsons up and down the East Coast. We don't have to go all the way out there for that kind of experience. I feel the same way as you, man. What you were saying earlier, exactly the same. If I was going to go to a Milsim, I would not. I don't care about going, or I'm not interested in going to somewhere for a quote unquote boot camp experience. I've already had it. I don't need it. Okay. Now I think it's cool to offer that for people that have never gone in the military, or can't go in the military, or whatever, and they want to experience that for 3 days and get yelled at and whatever. Okay. But that wouldn't be me. That I don't want that personally. So, but the thing that strikes me is this group or these people, Josh Warren and these guys at Milson West, that they're targeting veterans. Like, I thought it was, when Eric first told me, I thought maybe, okay, what are they doing for clicks? Are they trying to get views? Like, is this like they're trying to get, stir up some shit so they can get more, more people involved in their milsims, or
I don't know that.
I don't know. Is that what it is?
No.
Is that what you think? No.
That's what I do.
Right.
I think, and I'm going to end the video. I'm going to end the video on this because I know you're a big man. I think, I'm going to get close. I think that, and I hate to say this, I think that you have two types of veterans in this world. You have veterans that loved what they did in the Army or the military and had a lot of fun and want to share that fun with everyone. And then you have veterans that didn't have so much fun in the military, and they take that toxicity and bad experience, and misery loves company, and that's the product that Milson West is. But the first type of veteran is the product that me, that you, the Third Coast Airsoft, the Pink Unicorn, that all these other people have, and there's no reason why, if Milson West has a great monopoly of cliques and networks, why we should have a great cliques and networks to bring it to the other civilians and veterans. So my last message before we tune out is, all you radical milsims out there, I'm coming for you.